and welcome everyone. My name is Fleur. This is half an hour yin and yang yoga. Today we're going to go into a little bit of back bending and working into the shoulders and the chest. So if you have, you could use a yoga strap. If you don't, you could use a scarf. Please don't use an elastic band because it gives way. Maybe a towel could work, or scarf. I did say scarf. Okay. So just have that by the side, have it ready. Make sure it's long enough for you so that we can open up through the arms. And let's start with just sitting. Start in a comfortable seated position, resting your hands onto your thighs or your knees. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, close your eyes. And begin to notice how you feel in the body. How are you sitting? Don't try and change anything just yet, just notice what's the initial way that you started arriving in your body today. And you might notice maybe there's a little tension somewhere, maybe there's a little tiredness, maybe you're all ready and set and excited, or you're new to me and my voice, so all of that, take it in, take all aspects in. And then bring into awareness how your breath is. So when we practice into our back, when we practice a little bit of back bending, we need our lightness because we don't want to struggle. So we need our air, we need that flow of breath. So we don't struggle, so that we actually can feel the space open. Open into the lungs, open into the heart. So see, how would you like to sit if you were feeling really free, really easy to sit upright? How would that feel? And can you just glide into that shape with your body? Can you bring your weight slightly into the sit bones if you're sitting cross-legged? If you're sitting any other way, same principle. So can you bring your weight right into the hips and feel your legs, the lengths of the legs away from you. And can you notice if your chin is slightly lifted, or can you draw the chin just slightly down towards your chest and draw the throat slightly back so that your neck lengthens as if you have a wall behind you. And at any point you notice that you are pushing, so if you're pushing yourself into this position, if you're tensing the lower back, see if you can make it a little gentler. So there's a freedom in arriving in this space rather than a pushing and shoving yourself into the position. And notice if your breath is flowing a little bit more freely now. And then start to activate your Ujjayi breathing. So the breath that's called Ujjayi, the victorious breath, is a slight restriction at the back of your throat. A little bit as if you are making the sound of Ha, H-A, with your mouth closed. If you're not sure about this, you could just open your mouth for a moment and then make the sound of Ha as you exhale, and then the same as you inhale. Noticing that your breath comes in a sort of wave-like sound. And do that for a few rounds, and you might notice this coolness at the back of the throat. If you feel like you have to cough, just do it a little gentler, so it's like a sigh in effect. And then when you've done this for a few rounds, close your mouth and continue just softly finding this sigh at the back of the throat. Like a faraway wave that you are hearing inside of your mind and your ears. And notice that that makes the breath move deeper into your ribcage. And then soften the hands Soften the breath, bring the hands to your heart center and just set an intention for your practice. Whatever brings you to the mat. Let that be part of your guidance today. And let's open the space with the mantra Om, taking a breath into chant. And then releasing the hands and blink your eyes open. Good. Change the crossing of your legs if you had a different crossing. If you had a crossed legs position. Good. And then bring the arms out to the side. Fingertips reaching towards the floor and open your chest and sit again nice and tall. Activate your feet a little bit, so pressing down to the sides of your feet and then reach the arms up. Take a breath in and as you exhale, bring the arms down, keep the arms nice and strong. And let's do that 4 more times. Inhaling, arms up, just feeling how they feel today. Exhale out to the side and down. And again, breathing in. Think of lifting yourself away from your hips in your torso. 2 more, arms up. And exhaling down. Last one, lift the arms up. And then come to one side, so bring down your left hand and reach up and over the right. Now, tendency is that your arm is sort of behind you, your shoulder rolls in. So keep the hand in the height of your hip and then soften your left shoulder down. So you have to lift up through your right side, not just sort of collapse here in the side. Lift up, draw down through your right hip. Maybe even bend the elbow a little bit and think of lifting your arm away out of the shoulder socket. And then you can knee a little bit down. So try to relax that left arm. You are holding yourself still up here through your core. Full breath here. Maybe even close your eyes. Keep your feet active so they support you as well here. And then breathe in, come back up. Other side, again, make sure the hand is on the level of your hip or slightly in front. Reach up the arms again. Lift yourself up first. And then maybe bend the top elbow a little bit. Press the feet in the floor. Soften the shoulder. Take that little side stretch. Keep the neck soft. Keep the chest lifted so you don't fall inwards. And breathing in, come back up, good. And then do a little twist. Bring your right hand onto your left knee, lift your chest. And a gentle twist to the side. Look to a place and then think of your chest wanting to come there. And bring yourself back to center and 3 breaths on the other side. Gently spiraling up through the crown. And then coming back to center. Uncross the legs, come to a tabletop position. Knees underneath your hips, hands under the shoulders. And then stretch your arms in front of you. Dust. Bring the arms forward. Look forward and think of reaching your hips slightly back. And now pull your navel slightly in, which I can't do very well because I'm pregnant. But, you know, just a little. If you're wondering why my belly's not pulling, it's sort of got a baby in there. And then start to rotate in a circular motion, as if you're drawing a little circle with your nose in front of you. A little circle. So you're opening up through the chest. Keep the arms strong. You don't have to be too low. If it's uncomfortable, come up a little bit. Bring your hips a little higher. But make a small circle so you feel you're opening up through the chest. And then change direction, go the other way around. Lovely. And then come back to center. Walk your hands back. Bring your right hand slightly back and then slide your left arm to the right side of the mat. Soften your head down and breathe 5 deep breaths.
trying to draw the left hip back. You want to feel this on the side of your shoulder. Think of rotating your upper arm a little bit away from your ear. And then coming back up, bring your left hand towards your left knee, and then reach the right arm to the opposite side. Obviously doing this sort of on the floor. And again, 5 breaths. Rotate the upper arm slightly out, keep the arm straight. I mean the one that's lengthening away from you. And coming back up. Good. Little cat-cow from here, breathing in. So hands under the shoulders, knees under the hips, open the chest. And as you exhale, tap the tailbone around the back, push the hands on the floor. And just a few more.
Feel like you're squeezing your back muscles.
And rounding. And then tucking your toes under. And then turn your fingers slightly out to the side. And then come forward as you inhale. Arch your back. And as you exhale, round the back and tilt the tailbone down so you feel a deeper stretch in the lower back. And again, inhale, open the chest, little arch, little lead into the hands, and exhale, rounding. And again, inhale to open. And exhale to round. 2 more. Inhaling to open. And exhale to round. And then come back to center and sit on your toes. If this feels really uncomfortable for you, bring your hands down. Just take a little toe stretch, so ground is through the feet. If it's comfortable, just take a few moments again to feel the breath in your heart. Just take 5 breaths here. So we want to keep the energy grounded, even though we want to lift up through the heart. Same as if your fingertips are on the floor or your hands. And then release, bring the hands down, untuck the toes, and let's come to a little bit of the shoulder work. So take your strap, and from here bring the arms forward, and make it quite wide. Now you want to have a little bit of tension on your strap so that you're not sort of having it nice and loose when you sort of want to get them over, which is what we're going to do in a moment. So a little bit of tension. Lift the arms up and just feel, is this going to work? Lift the shoulders up to your ears. Keep the arms really straight. And then see if you can reach the arms back with ease. If you notice this is already tense, take your strap wider so you don't sort of bend your elbows. You want to keep it nice and wide and easy. And then again, lift up and lower. If it's uncomfortable sitting on your knees, just do the same on kneeling, maybe with a pillow underneath your knees. And do this 10 times, so you don't have to bring it all the way down. Think of more working into the shoulders. Imagine really want to lift them high and roll over something. And maybe there's a lot of crunching, that's okay, but we don't want it to feel too intense. So no pull across the chest just yet, just lifting and opening 10 times. So we're warming it up. Good. I've got to count now, so I think this is 9. And then 10. Okay, good. And then take a little rest and take the hands a little closer, just a little. Don't be too ambitious. Don't need too ambitious right now. We'll get there later maybe. We don't really want to have anything with ambition. We just want to have space. And then lift the arms up again. And see if you find now that little stretch and if you can roll it over. And again, we don't want it too intense. So it shouldn't be like, ooh, you know, it should be like, okay, this is okay. I can feel a little stretch across the chest and my arms. And again, this is 3. Now I'm counting. And with your breath, inhaling. So keep breathing nicely. 5 more. Lifting up and opening. Nice and gentle.
6. And the more you do this, the more you'll eventually find that there's space in the chest and shoulders. Keep drawing the belly slightly in. 9. One more. And 10. Good. And then hold it at the tight spot. And again, don't strain. Just keep the arms straight. Keep a little bit of tension. Hold it here. Pull the navel slightly in. Draw the chin slightly to the chest. Lift your heart up a bit. Hold it. Gentle pull. Now think of drawing your little fingers to the armpits. So if your thumbs want to move away from your forearms, intensifies that stretch over the forearms. And breathe. And release. Well done. Remove the strap and give your arms a little shake. Good. From here, let's come into a little bit of movement. Bring the hands onto the floor. Tuck the toes, push back into downward dog. Just feel how your arms feel now. How does this affect your downward dog from when you come from a cold position? Has this made your arms a little bit more open? And walk out through your heels. You can bend the knees a lot. Draw the hips back and up. Little walk through the heels. And then bring the toes together touching and lift your right leg up into the sky. Draw the left heel down. Point your right toes and bend your right knee. Lift the right knee as high as you can. So you're slightly opening the hip to the side. Now your left elbow will want to bend. Keep the left elbow straight. Keep both arms really straight. But just squeeze your right heel towards the left buttock. Keep looking down towards your left foot. And as you exhale, bend the knee forward towards your nose and step the right foot between your hands. If this doesn't work, just drop the right foot down, drop the left knee down, and then step the right foot down. It's a bit easier for me with my belly growing. Now, bring the right hand down onto your right hip and come to a lunge position. Find first of all an easy lunge so that you're not too low yet, so not sort of over pushing. You want to keep slightly active in your right foot. Feel your right glute. Hands onto your right thigh and tuck your left toes under. If you want to pad your knee, do so. And then push into the left balls of the foot and reach your arms up. Lift them high, so don't go into a back bend yet. And think of squeezing your left hip bone slightly forwards. Breathe in, open the chest here. Nice long breath. Looking forward, so you can look between the hands if that's okay for your neck. And then release the hands down, step yourself back into a downward dog and walk the heels out. And let's do the other side, bring the big toes touching, lift up your left leg into the sky, bend your left knee, and again, keep the right arm really straight. So don't let the right arm bend, and lift up the knee high as it wants to go. Squeeze the left, it wants to go down, I guess. Left heel towards the right buttock. Think of opening your left hip to the side, the left hip bone to the side. Breathe, draw the right heel down. Draw the chest through the arms. And then bring the left knee forward, between your hands. Bring the right knee down. Untuck the toes, just for now. Actually, keep them tucked. Much easier to get there. Lift your arms up and then press back into your right big toe. Draw up through the right hip side. Arms up. Think of tucking the tailbone a little bit. Long breath. Think of growing taller. And then bring the hands back down to the floor. Step back into downward dog. Walk out a little bit through the heels. Bring the big toes again together, touching. Lift up the right leg again into the sky. Step the right foot between your hands. Come into a high lunge, reaching your arms up. Good. Back of the heel is lifted. Bring your arms behind your back. Interlace the fingers, or if this doesn't work, you can hold your elbows or just bring the hands onto your back with the fingers pointing down. And find the balance first. Squeeze your left leg nice and strong. Lift your chest and then open your chest.
reach your arms back. Try not to collapse in the lower back. You're going to lift up with your heart as your arms squeeze back. If your hands are in the lower back, keep thinking your fingers slightly push down your pelvis. And then release, come back down, step back in a downward dog, walk out through the heels. Other side, lift up the left leg into the sky. And bring the left leg forward between your legs. High lunge again. Inhale, arms up, find the balance. Breathe. And then bring the hands behind your back. Try and change the clasp of your hands. So if you have a habitual thumb on top, try and change the other thumb. And let the fingers follow. Squeeze your right leg back. Make really strong and active. And then lift your chest as your arms reach back. Keep drawing the lower part of your pelvis up to the navel. Navel, navel. And release. Come back down. Hands to the floor. Step back in the downward dog. And walk out to the downward dog. Breathe in, come forward into plank position. Roll yourself through the spine. Make sure your hips don't come too low. So hips in line with shoulders and heels. Open the chest, keep the neck nice and long. So don't collapse the head. Hold here, draw the belly button in and squeeze your glutes, nice and strong. And then bring your knees down. Drop the chest and look forward. See if you can draw the chin down to the floor and arch your back. Keep squeezing the elbows into the side of the torso. Keep tapping the toes, push a little bit into the toes so you can lift a little higher. And now slide yourself onto the belly, which is something I can't do, but you can do it. Slide yourself onto the belly and come to a low cobra. I'm going to go a little higher because my belly's in the way. Keep your elbows bent, point your toes away, and roll the shoulders down. So the shoulders want to come up because it's easier for the arms to just sort of hold you there and collapse. You want elbows bent, push them down, lift your chest. So I'm a bit higher. You might sort of be here, that's fine. That's where we want to be. And then roll yourself back into a child's pose. And soften the forehead on the floor, arms reach forward. Take a few deep breaths into your back. And then from here, coming back up. Let's do like a nice little move and twist. So from here, let's come first of all. Wait, my clever way to go there. Just easy, sit on one side. I'm going to do one more twisting position before we come to a deeper back bend. Bring your left foot in behind your right hamstring and cross your right leg over your left knee. Wrap your left arm around your right knee. Right hand behind your back. Lift your chest and then twist to the right side. If it feels okay, you can also bring the left arm over your right knee. So you have a little hook, but remember to keep the shoulder down. If anyone practicing pregnant, please don't do that. Just keep nice and forwards. Just lift the chest. I'm not really twisting in this here. And my belly's quite small as well. Still. And then come back to center, do a little counter twist if you like. And then change over to the other side. So left foot over your right knee. Make sure the big toe stays down. Left hand behind you, lift your chest and then do a little twist to the side. Keep breathing. Keep engaging through the core, so draw it in and up. And let's come back to center, do a little side twist, and then unleash your legs. Let's come to a camel pose. So I was looking forward to this today. Bring your mat, roll it up so that you have a little bit of padding. Bring your knees onto that little padded place. Tuck your toes under and then lift up onto your hips. Bring your hands into the smalls of your back, the fingers pointed down, and think of your hips. So this part, so the top part of the hip and then so where your thighs are, wanting to open. So it's not about just squeezing your glutes and pushing your hips forward and the tailbone sort of tucks. You want to keep the pelvis in a position where you're stable and the front lifts up and lengthens up. So as if you want to stretch out the skin at the front of your body. Now make sure that you're not arching your back. So this is the hinge I mean. You can see that there's a sort of as if the upper body's coming towards the thighs. So you want to keep this nice and open and slightly tilt the tailbone down. And then press into the tops of your feet, so toes I mean, lift your chest up and open the heart. Now if you're feeling comfortable here, stay here and just take a few breaths and feel how this feels. If you notice your breath is quite staccato, so like riggedy and not really smooth, take it a little bit back. Come to where it feels okay, shoulders back. If it feels comfortable, see if you can bring one fingertip and then the other to the heels. If you have blocks, you might have blocks that you can place next to your books, next to your feet. And then open the chest. Maybe your head can look up or forwards, whatever feels good for your neck. And when you're ready, if you're with the hands on the heels, bring the hands back onto the lower back and then bring your hips back. Bring your arms forwards. Open your knees wide and come into a nice wide-legged child's pose with your arms forward. If your lower back feels a little tender, make fists with your hands and give your lower back a little drum. And do it for longer. And deep breath in and out. And then coming back up, hands underneath the shoulders. Come back into a tabletop position. And then come seated. I want to blocks here, I need now. So from here, you can sit on, either sit on something, like you can sit on some pillows or some blocks. And bring the soles of your feet together in front of you, or if you've got maybe like a wardrobe behind you, or a wall, you can come to a little different variation. You can bring your pillows or cushions in front of you and then place your feet, I just need one actually for this, feet in front of you, maybe not too close, and then see if that feels quite nice to soften forward. So we're now entering into a yin part. So I'm going to do this variation. If you feel you can't come forward and your knees are quite high, it's quite nice to sit on like a pillow or cushion and then let yourself come forward. Now let your breath come really smooth, just a little bit. Feel how you now slow down the energy. And slow it down even further. Think of now really letting yourself fall into this nice forward fold after all the back bending, with the hips open. Few more breaths here, not too long. Really allow yourself to become still and relaxed. And take a deep breath in and sigh it out. And then roll yourself back up. If you were sitting on something, you can stay on it. If you had the block in front of you, your pillow, just take it out to the side. I'm going to come to one more little forward fold. So open your legs wide to the side into a straddle. Now, if you feel like you can't come forward because your hamstrings feel tight, just bend your knees and maybe just hold your ankles, keep the feet relaxed, and then fold forward in this way. If your legs can be straight, try not to reach too far, so just bring the hands where they fall. Keep the knees pointing up, so they don't fall inwards. And then again, see if you can just find the edge, a very gentle inner hamstring stretch. Wherever you are, just keep letting go, keep softening. Let the head soften. You can round your back here now. Few more deep breaths here. So letting go of any feeling of reaching or pushing or pulling. You're just softening now. And slowly coming back up. Well done. And then from here, just with the help of your hands, bring the knees together. And let's come lying on our back. And just the last thing I'm going to do is a gentle twist. So as you lie on your back, just bring the knees close to you. And then you can roll over, which I'm not going to do, to one side. I'm just going to roll over anyway, just one side. I'm going to go all the way over. And then from here, you can open your top arm to the side and the chest draws open as well. And just hold in your spinal twist for a few moments. Keep the breath smooth. Again, no pulling or pushing, just an enjoyment of opening through the chest. And then slowly coming back. Bring the knees over to the other side, where first the top one and then the other one. You can wiggle the hips over to the middle of your mat again and roll over to the other side, just facing away from you for a moment. And then the top arm reaches up and over. And relax into it for a few breaths. And come back to center. And lie on your back, maybe give your knees a little hug. Rock side to side and massage for the lower back. And then just a little bit of core just for to finish. Bring the knees over your hips, bring your arms to the side and just hold it here for a moment. Pull your navel slightly in so you feel the core activate. And then just start little cycling motions with your knees. So feel the core just a little bit so that your core gets activated after all the back bending. And then change direction. Keep pulling in the navel. Little movements. Good. And then slowly lower one leg down, lower the other. Just feel the belly. Take a breath in. And as you exhale, slide the legs away from you. Open your arms to the side with the palms up or any other way that feels really comfortable for you. Now stay here and relax into the body. Let yourself feel heavy but free in your breath. And then a deep breath in through the nose. And a big sigh out. And you can stay here for a little bit longer if you like. Just pause the video. Just relax as much as you need to. Otherwise, just slowly start to wiggle your fingers and your toes. And then reach your arms over the head. Give yourself a nice long stretch. Then roll over to one side and just lie there again for a moment. And push the floor away, straighten your top leg, come back up to seated. In your own time, find your comfortable seat. And again, feel free in yourself. Feel soft but erect in your spine, at ease. And then bring the hands to your heart center, lift your heart to your hands. Remind yourself of your intention, what brought you to the mat. And let's close with a mantra on. Take a deep breath in. Namaste everyone. Thank you so much for joining me here. If you have any questions, please find me on social media. We're on Fleur Yoga and Pilates on Facebook or Fleur on Instagram. It'd be lovely to connect. Also have a channel here on YouTube. Apart from this, so Fleur Yoga and Pilates, please subscribe. There's lots of other videos, Yin, Pilates, Vinyasa Yoga. So hope to see you there. Thank you.